Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. So now that the new pack has been released, we have received quite an update to Magistus Fairy Tale in particular. Not only have we included the new Endymion cards, but also the new Forbidden Crown is very ample disruption for the deck to use, and I've also included a new Super Poly target in the favorite hero Shining Flare Wingman. But before we do anything else, I really quick want to go over combo lines again. Now, I did put out a video last week showing out what full power Magistus Fairy Tale combo lines look like. I'll link that down below as well as my original Fairy Tale guide if you're interested in even more coverage. But most notably, we do not have the Charmers in Quartet, the link for, so our end board is going to look a lot different. So I really want to show you how to combo with what we have in Master Duel right now. I'm going to show you how Fairy Tale Luna in particular is now a one-card setup for both your Magistus and Fairy Tale board. Previously, she could only set up Fairy Tale stuff by herself, but now she can get you into Magistus plays as well, and here's how. We're going to begin by normal summoning Fairy Tale Luna, and there is one other card we've included in our deck that I haven't mentioned yet. It is Genea of the Ring, available in the Legacy pack, so we're going to want to add her from our deck to our hand. Now we get to activate the effect of Genea of the Ring. Targeting our Fairy Tale Luna, we turn her into a spellcaster, which of course she already is, and now we have two level 4 spellcasters. That means we can overlay into the Fairy Tale Wickhat using them. We'll summon that right over here, and then of course we're going to end up activating the Wickhat effect. Now it might not seem too different from just adding Matchgiru, but if you added Matchgiru off of Luna and summoned Matchgiru off her own effect, you would be down one body and not be able to do much aside from just summon Teller. Here, however, we go into Wickhat without going into Matchgiru first, so we can dump her along with Tales of the Fairy Tale from our deck to the graveyard off the Wickhat. Alright, now we're going to activate our graveyard effects. We're going to do Matchgiru first. That is actually really important that you do her first, and we're going to special summon her to the field. Alright, now we get to activate the Matchgiru effect. We're going to want to add Fairy Tale Ball from our deck to our hand. Even if it wasn't the only Fairy Tale spell in our deck, we would be adding that one. So we're going to activate Ball. Now Ball gets to add another copy of Fairy Tale Luna from our deck to our hand. Very important that we get this Luna in our hand before activating the graveyard effect of Tales of the Fairy Tale, because of course we want something to extra normal summon. So we can equip it to either of our monsters, and then we'll extra normal summon the Fairy Tale Luna, who, fun fact, is not once per turn. So that means we can go Fairy Tale Luna effect. We're going to add the Fairy Tale Snow from our deck to our hand, and now we get to activate the effect of Tales of the Fairy Tales. So now we're going to summon out the Teller, and we can do so by using the Snow in our hand, as well as the Wickhat on our field as materials. There is Teller of the Fairy Tales. And now we're going to start going into our Magistus plays. We're going to first turn either one of our remaining level 4 non-fusion Fairy Tale monsters into... One of them is going to get turned into Artemis. And now we're going to take Artemis plus Matchgiru, or Luna if you use Matchgiru to make Artemis, and we'll link them into the link to Endymion, the Crescent Magistus. Now we'll activate the Link Summon effect, and we get to equip the Artemis that we just used from the graveyard to it as a material, or an equip spell rather. Alright, now we get to activate the Artemis effect from the spell Trap Zone, and that's going to let us add the Spenta Magistus Sealer from our deck to our hand. Now we get to activate the Spenta effect. We're going to discard, and then we're going to add Crowley, the gifted Magistus, to our hand. Now we get to activate the effect of Crowley because it was added to our hand. We can special summon. And now because Crowley was summoned, we get to activate the effect in order to fuse. We're going to make the Zorora Magistus Verathanga using the Crowley, of course, and we'll use the Endymion Link 2. We'll summon the Zorora right over here. And now we get to activate Zorora's effect. We can just go ahead and equip the Artemis again. And there you have it. That's pretty much what your end board off of just Luna is going to look like. That's going to represent a negate from Teller, a negate from Ball, a negate from the Zorora, and we also still have the Fairy Tale Snow that's in our graveyard. Not only that, but we can use Wigcat in order to send Snow and get another activation. So that's a total of 3 negates and turning 2 monsters face down. Now, granted, there were some other Fairy Tale combo lines before that also let you go into Invoked Makaba on your opponent's turn, and while we don't get to do that with this line specifically, remember that this line began with Fairy Tale Luna, which previously was not a 1-card combo, only really able to set up Teller and nothing else on your end board. So I think this is a pretty solid upgrade thanks to the Genea of the Ring here. Alright, so another new addition to this deck that actually makes for a pretty decent starter is Regulus, the Prince of Endymion. I say starter, it does require you to reveal another spellcaster in your hand, so not quite a 1-card starter, but 1.5. Could even be a piece of off-engine like Jewel and Lockbird that you're revealing here, but let me show you how to begin plays with Regulus. We'll reveal by showing a spellcaster, which I know I already have Luna, which is also already a starter, but like I said, I want to show you the plays with the Regulus here. So we'll special summon Regulus to our field that gives it the effect to activate and then add a card that mentions Regulus, which is going to be the Empire of Endymion. Now we get to activate our Empire effect, and then we can use this in order to add Ver, the Maid of Endymion, from our deck to our hand. Now we can special summon Ver off her own activated effect because we did activate a spell card this turn, and then we can use the Ver effect in order to add the Ver Magic Lacrima of Light from our deck to our hand. Really nice thing about this combo line is that you not only get to set up your full plays off of the Regulus, but now you also get to add the Ver Magic in order to have as insurance in case your opponent has a hand trap. By the way, if you opened with Empire, you could simply search Ver, then activate the Lacrima in order to dump Witchcrafter Jinny from your deck, after which point you can then banish the Jinny to use Ver's other effects to summon any Magistus monster from your deck. That'll give you the ability to also go into Wigcat later, just another way of setting up your board if you only opened Endymion, or Ver plus any spell you can activate. But anyway, we have 2 level 4 spellcasters. Let's overlay them into Fairy Tale Wigcat. And now we get to activate our Wigcat. We're going to use the effect in order to detach 2. And now we get to send Magistus and Tails yet again from our deck to the graveyard. All right, now we're going to go ahead and activate the effect of Magistus. We are going to special summon her. And then we're going to use the effect in order to search. Normally, I would add Fairy Tale Ball. I already have Fairy Tale Ball in my hand, so I'll just get Once Upon a Fairy Tale. But note that you would normally grab Fairy Tale Ball, subsequently activate it, and now we can add Fairy Tale Luna from our deck to our hand. All right, at this point, let's go ahead and use Tales of the Fairy Tale. We're going to equip to the Magistus, and of course that gives us an extra normal summon for the Fairy Tale Luna. Now we can activate Fairy Tale Luna. We're going to use the effect to add Fairy Tale Snow from our deck to our hand. You could actually, if you really wanted to, you could add Genea here, and that would give you the ability to then overlay into Rilliona, because then you would have 2 level 4 spellcasters with different attributes. The main advantage of doing that would be you could still set up a way to go into Invoked Makaba on the opponent's turn, but I really like having a Fairy Tale Snow, just a really great card overall. And with the Wigcat, you get multiple activations out of it potentially, so I like adding the Fairy Tale Snow here. All right, we're going to go for Tales of the Fairy Tales. We're going to fusion summon Teller with Snow in our hand and Wigcat on our board. And now that we've combined the 2 of those into Teller, our Omni Negate is online. From here, we can then link off one of our monsters, either Luna or Magistus, into the Artemis. And then after that, we're going to summon the link to Endymion using Artemis and a Magistus as materials. This will pretty much be the same wrap-up that we did at the end of the last combo line. We're going to go Endymion effect. We're going to equip to Endymion the Artemis from our graveyard. Now we get to activate Artemis's effect from the equip zone, and we're going to add a Spenta, at which point we're going to not summon, we're going to activate the Spenta effect, and we can add any Magistus monster from our deck to our hand, which of course will be the Crowley. Alright, now Crowley F gets to activate. We are going to special summon, and then we can fuse into the Fusion Zorora here using Crowley and the link to Endymion as material. From here, we activate the Zorora's effect, and we can equip the Artemis from the graveyard. And so yeah, there you go. It's pretty much the exact same setup as if you normal summoned Fairy Tail Luna, except we actually did not use our normal summon here. So obviously, in a real game, if you opened a bunch of cards like these that were extenders, you would be able to make some really good use out of them. Here though, like I said, I just want to show you the basic setup. And not only that, you've also got the Vera Magic, which again, if your opponent did have a hand trap for you, you'd be able to summon any Magistus monster from your deck and just keep on comboing. So there's some pretty basic setups with the new support, given that we don't also have the Charmer link for. Once you get Charmers in Quartet, you can add that as well as Fairy Tail Luna to this end board as well, which will of course be a very nice addition. But for now, I think this is still really solid. All right, now that I've shown you some of the combo lines, let me show you this deck in action here. Gonna go into a live game where we are taking the first turn. Opening hand looks really solid. We got Ash Blossom, Regulus, and a couple of extenders here. It's like our opponent might have something. Maybe not. Sometimes your opponent does just randomly get past priority during the draw phase there. I think I'm going to begin with the Regulus here. We'll show them a Spenta. And now we can special summon. All right, Regulus F going to activate here. Even if they end up having an Imperm, we have Metamorphosis, but they don't. So we're just going to grab the Empire of Endymion. We do have the Metamorphosis. I honestly would like to make use of this here in the combo line. But of course, we're first going to grab the Ver. That way we can have the Vera Magic in order to make sure that we have, you know, some hand trap protection here. Okay, take the Lacrima of Light. Now, I could just overlay into Wickhat, but as mentioned, I think I would like to make some use of Metamorphosis. I don't think I have to do it right this second, though. So let me actually do Wickhat first. Because, I mean, there is a slim chance our opponent's actually holding the negate for Wickhat, which is technically the correct choke point. Or they might have, like, Bell from Matchgiru. I think I'd rather know if they have that kind of stuff now as opposed to later. Doesn't seem like they do, though. Alright, so Matchgiru, we'll go ahead and summon her. And then F. We haven't normal summoned, right? We have not. So, that's interesting. Yeah, we're going to add Ball here. There's actually a lot of ways we could do this here. Let's activate Ball. And, of course, we're going to add Luna. It's only when she's normal summoned, right? So we'll still want to get our extra normal summon here because there's no reason not to. But I think I could even add Jania here. Wow, there's actually a lot I can do with this hand. I could also, because I'm thinking right now that I can just summon Snow off of Weaver, right? Yeah, let me add Jania for some extra follow-up potentially here. Do I want to summon Weaver just yet? No, because I want to use Snow as a material, I think. So let me activate Metamorphosis here first. Ooh, but the Metamorphosis is equipped to the Giru, so I have to give up Luna here. I'm really glad I noticed that when I did, honestly. Yeah, I think I already kind of misplayed here in that regard. I really should have equipped Tails to Wickhat if I was going to do it this way. But I think we'll still be fine. Alright, yeah, because this only adds off us being special summoned, right? So let's go ahead and grab Fairy Tail Snow. Now, I could make Rilliona here using Weaver. Wow, there's so many. I could also do it off of Jania, too. There's actually so many different ways I could play this out. This hand's kind of crazy. But this is also kind of what I was talking about before. I'm just going to fuse one of my Spentas with the Giru here, I think. This is kind of what I was talking about before when I was saying during our one-card combos that you'll often end up on different boards than the ones I showed you just because of how many starters and extenders are in this deck now. So now I'm actually thinking about summoning Rilliona here. I am Spellcaster locked, but I could save Link to Endymion for the end and then still be able to make... have the setup to make Invoked Makaba on my opponent's turn. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Well, I think I might just end up with like too many bodies here. Because I'm like, okay, I can summon Zorora here. But I don't really have the ability to like... I don't have the ability to make Borreload here, so I actually don't really know... Oh, wait, I was supposed to pick Zorora as the monster being equipped. So that was a misclick on my part. But that's fine, because like I said, I think we're about to have too many bodies here anyway. I don't even need to use Artemis to add here, but I will. Because I could just use Spenta. This is fine. Yeah. This will totally work out. So we're going to make this with Wickhat and Crowley. And then we can just link these into the Endymion link too. And then equip Crowley like that. Let's do that now, actually. So I did miss out on a body here. I could have equipped, or I could have summoned Chorozo here. If I didn't miss out on that body. Doesn't really super matter, though. One spellcaster monster card in your spell trap zone treated as an equipped spell. Doesn't have to be equipped to Endymion, so let me do these Aurora here instead. And then we'll equip off of Zorora's own effect as well, because there's no reason not to. Alright, so this is Spenta. So I could still summon Chorozo here if I really wanted to, but I don't think I really want to. I think we can just set and pass. I definitely could have played that a lot cleaner, but I just had, again, I kind of had access to so many different cards. You know what? I really should have made Borreload first, huh? Before I was Spellcaster locked. That would have actually been the smart thing to do, but we're totally still fine. I think we have enough negates and disruption in general to play through whatever our opponent's got, unless they just like Lava Golem here, would be very unfortunate. Or not Lava Golem, I was thinking of Raw Sphere mode. Either way, actually both would be pretty unfortunate. They're going to begin with the Fallen and the Virtuous. What are they going to target? Send Albion. Target the Aurora, huh? You know, I could... No, I was going to say I could like activate Endymion here. I think I might end up letting this go, honestly. Yeah, I'll just let it get popped. Oh, but then there goes the Endymion. Yeah, okay. That was the reason to protect it, because it protected the negate and also the... That was also the reason to equip it, I guess, to link to Endymion there. Kind of thinking, hopefully it won't matter, though. Like, we have so much disruption right now. Okay, so they normal summoned Cartesia. I am going to negate that. And I will banish... just Weaver is fine. Alright, there goes Cartesia. We still have Ash Blossom. Still have Fairy Tale Snow as well. They're going to summon Dogmatica Ecclesia. Tempting to use the effect to search, but we can Fairy Tale Ball to negate her. And then we can still Ash Blossom the Albion during the end phase. Okay, they're gonna set. Trying to figure out if I should activate this at all during this turn. Nah, it's fine. We'll just keep the Vera Magic face down. Ash Blossom the end phase Albion. Now we only have one face down card and I guess possibly a card in hand to worry about. Although they didn't hand trap us at all on turn one. So I think we'll hopefully be good here. Unless they have another end phase effect here. I am really kicking myself for missing out on both the Borload and Macabre negates right now. But I'm really hoping that we can just misplay and then win anyway. We might be able to get away with that here. Oh my gosh, all I did was pass priority on you saying you're ending your turn. Why do you have to think again? Thank you. Okay. Sorry, I got a little impatient there for a second. All right, another Vera Magic. Does kind of make me wish I'd activated one last turn, but not that big of a deal. Okay, what do we got? So, what do we still have in here? We still have an Artemis, Nidoru, and a Borload. And Chirozzo's in here too. Let's go... This is Spence. Oh, we have a ton of graveyard effects here. Let's actually begin with Magistus. Yeah. And then I could equip Tails. Is Tails... Okay, here's another Fallen and the Virtuous. I think I might just negate this with the Teller. Because they don't have any other graveyard effects. Again, pretty reasonable to assume that there's no hand trap here, given how last turn went. Yeah, we'll just banish a Luna here. Alright, there's Magistus. Giru F. Can add Once Upon a Fairy Tale. So that just locks us into Spellcaster, right? So let's go Tails. How much damage do I have if I attack directly here? I think... I guess there's no reason not to normal summon Jania here. And then, yeah, I'm just going to activate this. Why not? I'm pretty sure 1850 times 4 is already lethal by itself. I think it's exact lethal, isn't it? No, maybe not. All right, in any case, we got it. Pretty easy dub there, even though I kind of flubbed turn 1 a little bit. You'll have to forgive me. This was my first ever duel with the new support. But yeah, so again, to reflect, we could have made Borload on turn 1 if we had just done Spenta before Spellcaster locking. And of course, I should have actually negated the, the Fallen and the Virtuous with the Teller there. But ended up working out for us all the same. So let me go ahead and show you the deck list here before we finish off. So we've got the newest additions, of course, being the Regulus Prince of Endymion. I'm on 2 copies for now because I pulled 2, and if I decide I want a little bit more consistency, I could craft a 3rd one. However, there's actually a ton of different consistency buffing cards that you could include here. Other new cards are Ver, as mentioned, Empire of Endymion. I'm rocking a playset of Forbidden Crown to try it out in not just this, but a couple of different decks. And in the extra deck, we've got the Favorite Hero Shining Flare Wingman as a Super Poly target. I also did originally have the Favorite Hero Flame Wingman as another Super Poly target, but I ended up not having enough room in the extra deck to include it as well. But yeah, so as I was saying, there are tons of different starters and extenders that you can play in this deck, which is really funny considering that before this pack, the big problem with Magistus Fairy Tale was actually the fact that you were a little bit lacking in starters. But if you wanted to play more starters than are in this list, you could include a 3rd Regulus Prince of Endymion. You could also instead include Spell Power Mastery. Not that one, it's the this one. Spell Power Mastery adds any Endymion card from your deck to your hand. Then it places spell counters, which doesn't matter because we're just using this to add the Regulus. You could also simply add more copies of Empire of Endymion as well. That would fetch the Ver, but that would also be a way of setting up your turn 1 plays. As mentioned, Ver grabs Lacrima, dumps Witchcrafter Jenny. Witchcrafter Jenny banishes copy Ver, and then you can summon a Magistus monster directly from your deck. Not only that, but there is also what is it called? It's one of the Witchcrafter cards. If I can spell, that would really help. Good lord. Witchcrafter Creation, that's the one. Witchcrafter Creation also adds any Witchcrafter monster from your deck to your hand, which again adds Ver, the Maid of Endymion, which adds the Lacrima, which dumps Jenny to summon out a level 4 Magistus monster from your deck, also getting your full combo set up there. So that's really, really nice. There's a ton of different ways to go into your plays now, which I think is really appreciated for a deck whose consistency is as low, was as low as this one. Another consistency buff is you could just add another copy of Fairy Tale Ball. I'm only playing one, but Ball Search Luna is a lot better of an opening play, once again, now that we have the Genea of the Ring. Yet another card that you could actually play a second copy of if you wanted even more extenders in your deck. If you're going to play more than one Genea of the Ring, then I think what I would do is probably put in Molcharme Perulias, maybe taking out Drolls, because Perulia is level 4, meaning it can not only be utilized with Metamorphosis, but also Genea of the Ring turns whatever monster she targets into a spellcaster. So if you normal summoned Fuelos or Perulia, then summoned Genea off her own effect, you would then be able to go into the Wick Hat for full combo. So yeah, all in all, this new pack was a huge buff for Magistus Fairy Tale. Definitely do not sleep on this latest pack and how good it is for this deck. I do plan on playing some more games, which of course I'll show you in a later video. Hopefully I won't misplay as badly in those ones, but like I said, we want our game anyway, so it's all good. Anyway, that's going to go ahead and do it for now. Thank you so very much for watching. As always, I really appreciate the support. And speaking of support, let's go ahead and move on to our outro. That way we can thank our YouTube members and Patreon subscribers for their extra generous support. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.